It's from Day 7, and today we are talking about Carry On films, bizarrely. I grew up on Carry On films. I missed the entire double entendre and the sexism and the racism. I just like Sid James' laugh. And I learned about Henry VIII, so bit of history. Anyway, one day I was watching a Carry On film with my granddad, and this film was, I can't remember what it was called, Carry On Up the Factory or something, but they all worked in a toilet factory, and Sid James was on one side and there was another guy on the side. I can't remember. Anyway, they were all on strike and they were having a meeting, but the meeting was split in two. On one side you had Sid James and all the white guys who worked at the factory. Now on the other side you had, well, a white guy with brown paint on his face and all the brown guys that worked at the factory, the black guys. And in the middle, there was, I was sort of watching this, and in the middle there was a Sikh guy, a guy in a turban, and he was running back and forth between each of the groups. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. I get to find out he's like me. It was so rare to see someone on TV that looked like me. I used to think Derek Griffiths was my dad because he was the only person who was brown on the telly. And so I was sort of watching like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is going to tell me where I belong. So he's running back and forth, and Sid James like, what's going on? And he says, oh, I don't know which side I belong on. And the white people are going, no, you're not with us, get over there. And the black people are going, no, you're not with us, get over there. And he's running back and forth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, which side is it? I'm going to find out. And he went to stand with the black people, and they weren't happy about it. And I remember thinking, oh, well, I don't know any black people, because I grew up with like white people, the white people in my family, and then in foster care it was just white homes. So I didn't know any black people that I could belong to. And I remember thinking, I don't belong here then. So why am I here then? And I've got to spend the rest of my life trying to find somewhere to belong. And then as I did meet black people, and I was at school and at college, especially at college, there was this whole thing around, you've forgotten your roots. You're a coconut because you're white on the inside. And I'm like, hold on a minute. This is like, I'm being punished for my own disadvantage here. You're telling me I'm supposed to know all this stuff. I'm not allowed to ask questions. I'm supposed to know my history when I don't know who my dad is. My mum declines to tell me, and I've got no information on it. Why is that my fault? So there was this constant kind of, I don't belong here with the people I grew up with who happen to be white. I don't belong there with the people at school who happen to be black. Where do I belong? Now, fortunately, I founded the Mixed Race Posse, the MRP, and I had a lot of friends who were in the same situation. But that sense of belonging, that sense of othering where, you know, one side is saying, well, no, clearly you're not with us, and the other side is saying, well, clearly you're not with us. You know, if you don't belong, then you form your own team. And that's happened historically through everything when we other people. When homosexuality was illegal in England, you don't cancel it out. It just happens underground. You know, when abortion's illegal, people don't stop having abortions. They just go underground. So there's something about belonging and needing to belong. And if you can't belong in the majority, you'll find a place in the minority belong. Or we could think about what it would look like if we didn't exclude. And we kind of judge people by their heart and humanity first. And I'm never going to work in a toilet factory, so that situation is never going to happen to me. But if it did, I would take a day in each team.